Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay, that's good. Let's see where we left off, I think. We done through this, I guess. Well,
Mhm. Yeah, we read the vibe, that one too, in the Sangha Jewel.
we did the Sangha too as well, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we did the one hair's breadth of wisdom.
Even spread the wisdom. Where the? Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, I remember discussing that.
Yeah. Maybe we stop right here.
Yeah, I think that even seems a little familiar, that paragraph. And because we talked about tallying, we looked up the definition of tallying.
Okay. Yeah. I think the first 8 line of the 16, right? And okay, I think we about messing with the Buddha mind. That's right. Below talent with the living being potential. Yeah, we did that in the final 2 line.
And we
We
even read that the next paragraph, the may I cause the Dharma eye forever not to fail.
we done it too.
Yeah, even below that, the
We
may I cause the Dharma eye forever not to fail. And we talked about universal worthy, Samantrabhadra.
okay.
Um,
So
yeah,
we done the whole thing here.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
What
I
about
think it
this?
might be right there.
No, this not yet, right?
I think so.
Okay, go ahead.
I transfer this supreme good equally to all that live. This phrase transfers all the merit and virtue from this commentary to the Flower Adornment Sutra as a gift to all living beings of the Dharma realms of the 10 directions. Supreme good means the merit and virtue of this commentary is exceptionally good, the very best. Equally means the merit and virtue of this commentary are given to all living beings everywhere. Consequently, among those of old, in some resolved to read and recite the Flower Adornment Sutra, some to write it out, some to make offerings to it, and some to receive and maintain it. The Flower Adornment Sutra is such a large sutra with 81 rolls and 100,000 gathas. Some resolve to use the blood from their own bodies to write out the Flower Adornment Sutra, character by character. That is their way of repaying the Buddha's kindness, for the Buddha's compassion towards living beings is so great.
What do you think?
So here, the master Qingliang transfers the merit, and I think this has multiple effects. One is it makes sure we have right understanding and right intention in our practice, that he's not making this commentary to become famous or to become rich or to look good, but he's very clearly in his mind making this commentary to help all living beings in the best way possible, not just to give them like physical support, but to spread this spiritual realization, spiritual understanding. and that this is a supreme merit and virtue because this being one of the most revered great vehicle sutras that expounds the bodhisattva way, the way to realizing Buddhahood, the merit and virtue is supreme. And equally means that this isn't like picking and choosing who gets the merit. It's like in the Lotus Sutra, the rain with the plants. All of the plants benefit from the rain. Those with deeper roots or broader roots will get more rain. Those with smaller, shallower roots will get the sort of rain that they need. Um, and the next part, consequently, among those of old, some resolve to read, some resolve to recite, some to write it out, make offerings, some to receive and maintain it. So this is the next sentence doesn't quite flow as well with the previous part. It seems to be an additional thought, and it's talking about how different people practice the sutra, where they may
Yeah.
read it, recite it, write it out, make offerings to it, practice it. And some people might even like use their blood to write out the entire sutra, which would take a long time and would use a lot of blood over that time. So they'd like they need time for their to make more blood. They couldn't take all the blood it would take to write the sutra at once.
Actually, let me see. Let me see. I think it already happened. Actually, let me see.
People have done it, right?
Ah,
People have done it.
yeah, people have done it. Yeah, with the blood, they wrote it to the sutra.
But probably like they drew some blood, they got some blood and they wrote a little bit, and
Yeah, it
then
take maybe many years.
yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. Everything is possible, right?
Yeah.
Um. So, but what did we learn from this thing then?
Oh, we see the example of Master Ching Liang dedicating the merit, and this is one of the great vows to dedicate the merit of and virtue of good deeds to the benefit of all living beings. And that is really one of the many expressions of deep compassion, which is at the heart of the practice, the Bodhisattva way to realize Buddhahood. And also that there are different ways to practice the sutra.
Mm. You see that the Buddha said that even though that we provide the personal need to the Buddha for many numerous lifetime, it's not. It doesn't mean that that is the way. That is not the right way of pay the kindness to the Buddha. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even though that we carry the Buddha on our shoulder and we carry him around for numerous lifetime, that is not the way how we repay his kindness. And what is the best way to repay his kindness? Is to benefit living with. And from here we learn that the master he transfer all his merits from the commentary of this sutra that to benefit living being in general, to all living beings. That's the whole idea. That's how he repay his to the Buddha kindness. Because that's how that is the way that actually the Buddha encouraged, right? So the more people know about the sutra and how understand it, and they can practice, right? So that is the absolute that is the best way to repay. Mm. Um, the let me see the order. Mm, that's good. I think that's really good. It's not easy. Do you think it's easy to help one to in this country, is it easy to help one to understand the Buddha teaching? It's not that easy. Not easy at all. Right?
Right. I think it takes someone who is really determined to understand it
Mm.
and that is willing to persist for years generally. It may, I think, some people can understand a facet of it quickly, but they won't necessarily have the whole thing unfold.
Mhm.
And so over time, it unfolds more and more. It's like this picture grows, this understanding grows. And I think it's very easy to become distracted
Mm.
because there's life and there's bills and there's family and there's trips and there's work.
And there are a lot of taming of the world. That means it's temptation of the world.
Oh yeah,
A lot of those things, and it
yeah,
distract them, and they don't have patience to sit there and listen this over and over again for many weeks, many year. No, no, they don't. Maybe one in a while, and they listen a few, then they run away. Well,
yeah.
you see, at the beginning, well, maybe I don't have a good way to share the Dharma. At the beginning, our class is very, I think it's 10 people maybe, and now it's only you.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know.
Maybe I don't have a good way to expound the sutra, so they can be able to understand and benefit from it. But
well, I think what we're doing is pretty rare. Like I don't think it's done very often. Um, and because people are maybe used to like going to temple and learning like a little, having a little Dharma talk, but regularly week after week. Yeah, I think it's just I think we forget the importance of it, or it's easy to forget. People who can forget the importance, and then it can just kind of slide away.
yeah, and they maybe they appear one in a while and they run away. No, I understand. It's okay. Doesn't matter, and that's why it's very tough to encounter the Buddha teaching, and not only that, and to understand, and it's also more difficult to understand the Dharma, and of course, it's more difficult to practice. Mm. That's scary, and that's why that when we born in this world and do the Dharma work, it's incredible. But anyway, it doesn't matter. One, two doesn't matter, right? As long as we know what we do, that all we need to do. Okay, that's good. That's good. That best. Uh, okay, let's move on to the next one. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh,
In his transference, National Master Ching Liang is not retaining any of the merit and virtue for himself. He is not saying it's my merit and virtue. I want all of the merit from writing this commentary to the Flower Adornment Sutra to stuff into my pocket and hang on to. He's not that way. He wants to transfer it as a gift to all living beings of the Dharma realm everywhere. In what way? In a way that makes all living beings of the Dharma realm rapidly certified to the attainment of this great perfect enlightenment, to the wonderful fruit of the four virtues of nirvana, permanence, bliss, true self, and purity, to such constant bliss and such fruit of enlightenment.
okay, that's good. And what do you think?
Yeah, I think in the previous paragraph, I mentioned that there's multiple benefits of transferring merit.
Mm.
This passage makes me think about the benefit of humility, and because if it's easy and I know Ty has talked about this, stories about this too. You know these stories as well. Like the person who had recited the Lotus Sutra so many times, and he asked, I think it was Bodhidharma, how much merit and virtue he had, and Bodhidharma said none, because this person was thinking about the merit and virtue they were attaining by reciting the sutra. So they were holding on to that, and that was their motivation for reciting the sutra, was so they could kind of aggrandize their sense of self. They could, they could feel more important, have more self-worth. And I think that's just a risk for any of us. There's this fine line to walk about understanding the benefits and how rare it is that someone can have the sutra and can read it and practice it and understand it. There's a fine line between appreciating that and then feeling like having the thought of, oh, I'm more special than someone else. And so the need for dedicating the merit is really like a medicine to prevent that from happening, because that leads to arrogance, and then that arrogance will lead to some sort of suffering.
Okay.
And truly, we wish to help people as well. So that's, I think, one reason why the bodhicitta is so protective.
And the whole purpose, what is the purpose of the transfer in the marriage?
That it's for the benefit of all living beings, that all living beings may attain freedom from suffering.
Beside that,
I mean, for ourselves, so we don't grasp at the accomplishment. We don't kind of build up this idea of seeking for blessings ourselves.
you see that the Theravada teaching, when they attend the Arahat, right? That means they build on the wisdom. And they do not have the right marriage. Does it make sense, right? They only build on the wisdom side, not the marriage or the blessing. But on the same way, that means that when you build on the wisdom, that means they be able to transform the self, right, into a non-self. And how the Mahayana teaching is, when we transform the marriage, that is truly, that means we are the servant of the living being, right? And we devote ourselves to serve other without condition, unconditional, right? This is how we transform the self into the non-self, in this way, instead of in the form of the meditation. Does it make sense? And yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes. I was just responding. You said if that makes sense.
Right. So, and also for this kind of technique, it will help us to gain wisdom as well as the blessing at the same time. So we are balanced out. That makes sense. Yeah. So this is important. We not right away to transform the cell into the non-cell in one path or one time. It will take lifetime, many lifetime, until it become minutes and become transformed. So that's important. So the transform marriage is very important in that way. That means we practice of non-attachment. Okay. Let me okay, the Great Nirvana Sutra, right? There is the chapter about talking about the proper and improper. That means improper, that is the demon speaking. The proper, that is the Buddha both spoken, and improper, that means the demon spoken. So, and it's a very fine line, very thin, to be able to distinguish between the two. If we don't learn it, we will not be able to distinguish. You understand what I mean? And I will give you a
Yes.
specific example so you understand. So they want the Buddha saying he showed it the example. He said that if the one who become a monk, but not for the Dharma, but for the for the fame, right? And how they do, how the monk usually do for his monkhood. It means that they live into the aesthetic. That means it's make him self just like aesthetic practitioner, and and uh, and also have the four of posture, the four posture. That means walking, standing, eating, and lie down, whatever. It becomes very from outside. It looks very pure. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And he he told the lay people when they come to see him, he said that I'm the Arhat.
Mm.
And people also saw that, hey, oh wow, this monk is practice beyond, right? It's the way he practiced exclusive, seclusive, right? That's what you call seclusive. That means it's
Oh, like in seclusion, like
uh,
practicing alone, away from other people.
con đang vậy thôi, chưa 4 giờ thôi. Yeah. So um, that's why the other people saw that the way he saw his posture through uh, the way he walked, the way he talked, the way he stands, sit, and whatever. It looked very pure. And they also believe that he is truly Arhat. And you know what? And due to that, his name to become famous, right? Okay, this is one way. And the Buddha give another example, the same thing, that a person who vow to become a monk for the Dharma, not for the worldly material, right? And he also live seductive and ascetic, and he also have a full posture. That means the way he walk, the way he stand, the way he talk, and lie down, and so look very pure. And you know what? And the people later on come and visit him and say that you are truly Arhat. And you know what? He said that no, I'm not Arhat. But the people still praising him for it and always call him Arhat. And so he okay with it. He okay with it, and he use that, and he teaching the Dharma to other people and help them to understand the Dharma and help them to see to practice the Dharma for many years. So between these two, which one you think is the demon spoken, and which one is the Buddha spoken?
Oh, I mean, initially it would seem obvious, but if you're asking the question, I want to consider it carefully. So yeah, one is claiming they're an arhat and they're not an arhat, and the other one is not claiming to be an arhat, and they tell people he's not. Yeah, I would think that one would be right. I mean, I would think he would continue to correct them when he
No, but
continued.
the people still facing him at the Arhat anyway.
I would, so he doesn't correct them, but you're saying one of them is right. I would think you would continue, the right way would be to continue to correct them. That if they continue to call him an arhat, the right would be to continue to correct them. But the other one not only didn't correct them, but also actively tried to deceive them.
Mm-hmm.
So the second one's definitely better. I
Yeah.
would think, yeah.
And the Buddha said that the second one is that is the Buddha spoken. Why the Buddha said that the way he even though he said at the beginning he said no, I'm not an arahat, but the people still praising him for arahat, and he used that as the experience mean to connect with them and help them to understand the Dhamma. That is the goal. Because at the beginning he said that for my for me to the vow to become a monk to serve the Dharma. That is that is his mission. So basically, he using that to create the good connection with the people, and so he be able to taught them the Dharma and help them to understand it and help them to practice. Yeah. So this is important, very important, right? That makes sense so far.
Yes. Yes, time. What
Mm.
time you joined us?
And later on, when we go down to the next chapter, and I will take out that chapter specifically in the Red Nirvana Sutra. It's beautiful, and we will learn piece by piece. And from that, you will have the very good right view and right understanding, and help you to have the right contemplation. And that's how we have the wisdom right there. Nowadays, it's very tough to distinguish who is who. Okay. So, and you see this right here. It said that the four virtues of the nirvana permanent. It means that bliss, true self, purity, uh, and okay, and permanent. It should be a word permanent here somewhere. Okay. Do you know what
Yeah,
are these four?
yeah.
Oh yeah, permanent here. Okay. And bliss and true self and purity. You know what are these four? Why this is important, very important.
Yeah, the completions of the four mind seals for the teaching of impermanence, suffering, no self, and impurity.
Yeah, that's right. That's very good. So basically, when the Buddha he after he enlightened, right? And the first teaching, of course, this sutra, that means the Flower Dhamma Sutra is for the audience, is the Red Bodhisattva anyway. And after that, he started teaching the Theravada teaching. And Theravada teaching is he used the four Dhamma seal like suffering, right? Impermanent, non-self, and impurity, right? Impurity, that means the body, right? Suffering, that means the emotion, right? Impermanent, that means the mind, because all the thoughts come and go. And non-self, that means all the Dhamma. That means all phenomena. It's a non-self, right? The reason is why the Buddha teaching using that four Dhamma seal at the beginning to counter the other religion, using the bliss, true self, purity, and permanent. The other religion, they use this four, but they only use in terms of the word, but they do not know the nature. That's why the Buddha using the four Dhamma seal of the Theravada is to counter those things. And now, by the time that at the time that the Buddha about to enter the nirvana, he spoke the Nirvana Sutra. And in that sutra, he talking about this four to counter the four Dhamma in the Theravada teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And when we understand this, that means the Buddha is not really enter into the Nirvana. But to the Theravada, they always think that the Buddha entered Nirvana. That like the regular person,
Mm-hmm.
life and death. But no, the Buddha have the Dhamma body. Theravada teaching, they do not understand the Dhamma body because they do not know about the Buddha nature. So, so that's important. I just want to bring that thing up so you so you okay. All right, go ahead and read the next one for me, please.
Therefore, you see that when a bodhisattva makes a vow, it absolutely is not for his own sake. Consequently, when he makes a commentary to a sutra, he then wishes to transfer the merit and virtue to all the living beings of the Dharma realm. He has not the slightest selfishness, never saying, I made this commentary, and I want all the merit and virtue myself. Never. Instead, he bestows it upon the living beings of the Dharma realm. You and I at present all form part of those living beings, and National Master Ching Liang is bestowing the merit and virtue from this commentary to the Flower Adornment Sutra upon us, the living beings of the present. Therefore, we should all now thank National Master Ching Liang for that kind of compassion which enables us to see this commentary and rely upon it to study and cultivate the Buddha Dharma. We should repeatedly bow to National Master Ching Liang.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yes, this is what we've discussed in the previous paragraphs, just furthering the explanation of it. That, it's because of the actions made by this master that we're able to benefit from his commentary, and that it's important to have a mind of gratitude and be mindful of the like the benefit bestowed on us from this master's work.
So in here, that means when he transferred the marriage, it's not for himself, but for all living beings. That is true, but also in the Mahayana teaching, right? When we look at the living being, we look at them at the blessing field for the Bodhisattva. You understand the word blessing field? Field just like the forming field. Forming field.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Yes.
understand the blessing field?
Yeah, like a farming field, you could grow vegetables, fruits, some sort of plant, and that those plants are beneficial. You can eat them, you can nourish many people with them. So living beings being the blessing field is that they create the opportunity to generate blessings, because if we benefit living beings, and the consequence is
Or
is
the blessing field for
blessed. Hmm?
the blessing field for who?
Well, if we dedicate the merit, then for all living beings, but it's the one who I have the sense that one who is serving living beings, even if they are dedicating the merit, in future lives they themselves will also still be blessed. I don't think with their intention alone that they would be able to prevent themselves from also being blessed.
Okay. Okay.
But maybe they can.
Okay, this is how we This is totally different from the worldly view, right? When we look
Uh-huh.
at the other people, especially the one who have the negative affinity with us, right?
Yeah.
They are our debt collector, right? Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The troublemaker.
Yeah.
You must suffer to us. But to the Bodhisattva, regardless who you are, that means the one that he helped have a positive or negative affinity with him, doesn't matter. So he would devote to serve all equally. And then when he served, he didn't say that, okay, you provide a blessing for me. No, he didn't have any kind of notion of the self. But because the way he practiced, it's so when he devote and to serve the living being, and the place of the living being is just like the provide opportunity for the bodhisattva to practice and develop the loving kindness and compassion, right? And that's why the bodhisattva always have the gratitude toward them instead of have the hatred toward them. Does it make sense?
Yes, Ty.
So this is important. The That's why depend on our perspective. Happiness or suffering is based on our view or our perspective. This is important. If we have the right view, the right perspective, then you know what? Yes, sometimes it's very tough to go to the negative affinity, especially our loved one. It's not easy, but when you understand it, and we always have the positive view toward the negative, always with the positive view, and we will then that means we will not lynch on it, and we will not have any kind of ill will or ill thought against that person, but instead of that, we will have loving kindness and compassion. And we also gratitude because this opportunity, it provides me the practice of my spiritual, especially for the loving kindness, compassion, and also patience. Then with that in mind, we will eventually overcome this with peace,
Mhm.
not with struggle, and not with the uh, uh, struggle or fight, right, or violence. So and that means that that's what we call blessing field right there. Blessing field for us. That means even though I dedicate my marriage to art, but actually that also come back, just like the Newton law. When you hit the whole force forward, the same force oppositely come back. That is the Newton law.
Mhm.
So the Buddha teaching is just like physics, just like science.
Mhm.
It's beautiful. Um, Tell me, what do you think? Tell me.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Mm, how everything? Tell me.
Good, good. The kids are back in school now, so I've been trying to work a lot and get stuff caught up. I got a tax deadline coming up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I participated in a ceremony last weekend at the Tibetan temple.
Uh-huh.
It Great Compassion Bodhisattva initiation.
Mm,
There was a lama that came in town. He came last year too. But this year he did the initiation, so that was nice.
Thank you, Tammy, for your helping me out to uh, praying for my dad passed away.
Sure. They prayed for a long time over at the Tibetan temple, and he had a special where I came and prayed with him one morning, so that was nice.
That's beautiful. Before we leave today, remind me, I will share you the link that I put all the place that I went to for the charity into on the website, and you can visit and you can see.
Please do, because I accidentally found that like a few weeks ago. I don't know how, but it just like kind of popped up on my phone. And I was just so blown away. I don't know how to find it again though. It was just so beautiful. Like it brought me such joy to see you there in that orphanage with all those kids. Like there was just so many kids. It was just amazing to see. But yeah, if you have the link, send it to me. I love to see that again.
How you find that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really good with that kind of thing.
The link with other people yet because I want to finish everything and so I can share later on. I also have the list of on PDF with the Excel sheet to show every place that I go, how I use the money for those things as well. So I will definitely hopefully next week sometime I will share to everyone. Okay.
Awesome.
It took me more than 1 week to do all those things. But anyway, but it's worth it. Worth it. Let's see. We done with this, right? Okay. Emmy, you want to read this one, Emmy?
Sure, let me try.
Before you have understood.
Before you have understood the Buddha Dharma, when you hear these kinds of principles, they may seem very ordinary to you, and you may not recognize that they are inconceivable states. After you have understood these wonderful Dharma doors, then you will know that National Master Chi-Ing Lang's compassion and concern for all of us living beings leaves no subtlety unreached. He enables us to conceptualize and make the finest of discernments. If you are at present who are able to hear wonderful Dharma of this sort, did not have great good roots, you fundamentally would have no way to hear this kind of Dharma. No matter what kind of person you are, whether you cultivate or not, whether you have brought forth the thought for Bodhi or not, for someone to be able to hear this kind of Dharma truly is like panning gold from sand. If one has never seen gold before, one may not recognize it as precious substance. If you've never seen a diamond, you may mistake it for glass and wonder why it costs so much. We are how in a similar position with regard to the Flower of Dormant Sutra. Those of you who do not understand the Dharma may feel there's nothing much to it when you hear it. Those who do understand know this Dharma is incomparable. It is the highest, unsurpassed, most profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma there is.
You had not read the Flower Dormant Sutra yet, but what do you think? What do you think?
It's just speaking of the value of reading, being able to read, not to read the sutra and to hear it and to understand it, because no matter what level you're at, if you're able to see it, you're blessed. And then the more cultivated you are, the more you can understand the blessings that you've received. Because if you don't understand it for what it is, just like if you didn't know gold, you wouldn't see the value in it. So the more cultivated you are as a practitioner, the better you understand the blessings you're receiving from being able to read the sutra. and not only read it, but to understand it through teachings.
But do you think that in this country is that easy for the Western people to have a chance to sit down and listen to the Dharma and understand it? Or
No, and that's why I feel blessed, every day, because it's not easy, even to find places, temples, and not only temples, but temples that speak English to be able to teach the Dharma. It's a true blessing.
and especially for the Mahayana teaching, it's very tough to understand because they have so many semaphore, right? Right, William?
Yeah, do you say metaphors?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. It can be quite difficult and take time to really begin to appreciate it. Like Master Swanhua's thing here, I thought that was pretty cool, where he mentioned that they may seem very ordinary to you, and you may not recognize that they are inconceivable states. I really appreciate that. Where someone be like, oh yeah, of course. But someone who understands more it's maybe kind of like when you have two mirrors on each side and the mirrors keep reflecting back into each other and they like go off into infinity. Like some of these, just like dedicating the merit, that has so much, I think, so much meaning to it. And the state behind that choice to dedicate the merit does too. So
that means in order to have the good chance to learn the Dharma, that means in the past we have a good route to it. It's not easy at all. Not easy at all. And especially from Mahayana Sutra, just like when you read the Mahayana Sutra, you only know the explicit meaning, but the implicit meaning is very tough to understand. But when you understand that, and you will see the whole tracer of the sutra. Before I became a monk, I don't know much about the Mahayana Sutra. Honestly, I just read it and not really understand it, just like many people. But when I become a monk, and inside my consciousness, there is a very directional force. It put me to research and study the consonant only. And you know what? When I was a lay person, when I read the consonant only a few pages, I fall into sleep already. Because it's so boring and it's so difficult to understand, and also because of a lot of terminology. They keep using the terminology, and that will it makes you get lost easily. And you know what? And the in the force it keep pushing me, and that's why I spend day and night for 3 months to research the consonant only non-stop. And I read Vietnamese and both Vietnamese and English, maybe 40 different sources. I still not be able to connect, and not easy to understand the example they have. And you know what? I always pray the great compassion Ava Pektara Bodhisattva. I mean one Chiyin, right? And you know what? One day, I realized I saw the light of the concept only. And when I understand it, I see it. Just like when you see through it. When you see through it, at that moment, all the things you read become connected. It becomes so beautiful. It's beautiful that that moment, the moment that the happiness come to you is beyond word description. And you know what? From that day on, I said to myself, the consonant is the foundation to unlock every single door of the Mahayana teaching. It's so profound, it's so important. That's why whenever what doesn't matter what kind of sutra I discuss, I always bring back to the consonant only. I use the consonant only at the foundation to understand the Mahayana teaching. Yep. Just like in here, when you see things, it's just like ordinary. But when you understand it, if you see through it, it's not ordinary. It becomes treasure. It becomes precious treasure. Do you have that feeling before?
Yeah, I have with the Lotus Sutra.
Mm.
With the Lotus Sutra, as I was learning to recite it, to memorize it,
Memorization. No?
just the verses, not the whole prose, not everything, just the verses. I've been working on that. And I was in a float tank.
Mm-hmm.
And you know about float tanks?
Not really. Tell me, what is it?
Can I think I can share a screen here. Oh no, I can't. A float tank, it's like
You can say it if you want to. Let me okay, now you can say it.
okay. Yeah, so it's like this. Um, and it's filled with magnesium sulfate in water,
Mm-hmm.
and the temperature is right at body temperature.
Okay.
So you get in, you lay down, and then you can close the lid and turn the lights off, and it's just all dark. And laying there, it's very easy over a period of time to like relax deeper and deeper. So it's a cool way to do like laying down meditation. I can see it's as entertaining to you. And as I like, once I was relaxed, I started reciting the Lotus Sutra and like really, really sort of appreciating each line. And I was struck by the meaning of that, you know, attaining the Buddha way. Kind of like something that's falling from the sky that eventually will hit the ground. And it just really when I read it before, it was kind of like, yeah, maybe like not for me though. Like it couldn't like it doesn't make sense for me. Like I don't think this really applies. But the sense of like the beauty of it, and not from a place of like, oh, I'm so far along that of course I will, but just being struck by that, yeah, it may take like lifetimes beyond count, but that it's a certainty, and that the feeling that from like that it's not, even if it takes multiple lifetimes, it's not a drag, because there's like there's a there's a point in which I've passed where I think even though there'll still be hard times, there won't be like harder times than there were before, in the sense, because of like just the because of understanding the Dharma in a certain way or being committed to it in a certain way. And it's just really yeah, really touching. And then it's not, a lot of times it can still feel normal. Like the different principles still feel quite normal. It's only periodically do I really get that sense of the profundity of them. But I have that like that memory, or the notion that they're actually like extraordinary. even if I'm experiencing them as ordinary at the time.
When you memorize the sutra, did you have the image of whatever you read, memorize? Did that retain in your mind?
I don't necessarily like think of the image and then have the words. Like now it's kind of like with mantras where the words will just come, like there's a rhythm to it, or like if you're singing a song it'll just come. But if I have trouble and I'm it's not just coming, I generally can see the page. Like I can't like see every word individually, but I can see like where on the page that line is, and then it helps me remember what comes next.
But if you memorize the verse of the sutra, and when you read it, and maybe one day you will be able to enter into that state, and you will experience the state of the mind at that moment. It's very important. And when I just like when I first be able to break through the concept only, and the first thing I said, oh, that's it. Just like you see something that you cannot explain. It be beyond the explanation of the mind. And you know what? Once you in that state, and doesn't matter what kind of sutra it is, you haven't read it yet, but when it comes to you, it's connected. Just like the water flow. Okay. And that's why well, anyway, it's okay, we will stop right here. And before we stop, I would like to say you the oh wow. I try to hit the secret, but she have it. That's okay. Just kidding.
I'm glad I saw it though, because the other day when I went to the temple, the master was in there and with a friend of his. He said his friend was from Vietnam. He couldn't make his flight, so he got delayed a little bit here in Louisville. But he said he helped out a lot at different temples over there. I said, "Oh, what about the orphanages? Does he help with the orphanages?"
Actually, that's
because I had saw that video, and he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, the master friend he very helpful. He sent his driver down and pick me up and take me to many different temple, and sometimes he go with me to the temple as well. So yeah, this is the other orphan here, 100 orphan. This is the one you talk, right? This this
wow. Yes, with him. Yeah. Oh, look at all those kids. They're so cute.
there are 100 orphan here.
Wow.
And I also have video as well, but let me show. Okay, and I also here this is how I use the money, Vietnamese money, and this is the US dollar. Okay, okay. Now go down here. I want to show you a different thing. This is the one that oh, do I have them? Okay, this is the one that they learn the ESL. The kids learn the ESL from the ESL program that the master has. All these kids here. And the doctor that she now is she already complete the doctor in general, and she been accepted into the hospital to the master friend. A big connection.
Yeah.
And then yeah, this girl right here. You remember her?
That is that Ha?
No, Fian.
Oh, Fion. That's Fion.
Yeah,
That's an older picture, right? That's years ago.
no. Just now.
What? Really? Wow. She looks different in that picture. I just saw her this morning
Okay. Anyway.
on Zoom. It's hard to recognize her from. I guess I usually see her close up because the Zoom, the camera.
Okay. Now let me go to here, and this is how I use the money, and all the donation money I use it for the charity. And this one right here, the number mồ côi và bị tâm thần. Okay, this is for the kid. This temple have more than 20 orphan and mental disability. So and you can see them here. Yeah. So I just quickly go through. So later on, you can go in and then you can watch yourself.
Which one's the one that had the video where you were talking to them all and let them introduce themselves on the microphone?
Yeah,
and they were getting treats.
Right here. All the under here, I have a thumbnail, slideshow, and video. You can watch the video here. Yeah, they are the Thiện Tâm is the one. Thiện Tâm, that means this one right here. I went there 3 times. I go by date. So the 14th is the 3rd time. So yeah, I think this is the one you're talking about. They are practice. They are reviewing the English they learned from the ESL program. We connect them to the ESL program. Okay, let me see. I think this is the one, I guess. Let me see. I did not remember too many. Okay, maybe this one.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Nguyễn Tâm Nam. Dạ, 4 tuổi. Con đang về. Nguyễn Tâm Việt. What's your name? And when you how old are you? And what grade you in? Okay, that's good. Let me go to here. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me move down to I went to Da Nang as well. That means the central Vietnam and Hue as well. Oh, this one right here. This is where the what you call the disability. This is 104 disabled children. Okay, all the money I put in here for this thing. Okay, for this plate. Okay, you can see. You see, they are not normal. Okay. I have video too. Let me upload. I have not post the video onto the website yet. I should, but you see it. It's very what do you call? It's heartbroken. It's really heartbroken. I showed this to my kid, 5-day class. I want to let them know that how lucky they are, how blessing they are. So don't waste your blessing. So now let me give you the link so you can go in there. I have both English and Vietnamese, so hope my translation is okay so you can understand it. Okay, let me do it. Let me put into the chat. Okay, you can click on there. I will put the the Excel, not the Excel sheet, but the PDF of the Excel sheet here. Sometime next week, I will show you quickly here so you see how I did it. I just want to make sure that the money people donated, we spend wisely. So that's how we help them to do the good deeds as well. So okay, date, right? This is Vietnamese format anyway. And this is the place, and this is the Vietnamese dong, and the description, just like you see on the web page. And at the end, when they add up, it's been 241 million dong, equal to $10,000. Just for that, and also $5,000 for book, two book. The one book is for the bibliography of Venerable Sanghua, and the other book is bibliography of Venerable Sun Suyen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. To buy the Zhu Yun book on Amazon here in the US, so expensive in English.
But
It's like over $100.
yeah, oh really?
Yeah, I bet in Vietnamese, I bet it's more. Yeah, it's because it's not continually printed. It's out of print.
Yeah.
But probably in Vietnam, it's still in print, and so it's a normal price. But here, it's like a collectible.
One book that I think it's cost about maybe a little bit, but maybe not even $2.
Yeah, I'll pull it up on Amazon. For in US, it's crazy. That's awesome. It's called Empty Cloud, I think, right?
Yeah, empty cloud. Oh, I have the PDF.
So,
You want the PDF?
oh sure. Yeah, here you go. Look, paperback for if it's used, $97.
Oof.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, because they are very rare to print.
Yeah.
That's why it's costly, very costly.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, let's stop right here. We done with the day. Let me close up. So go ahead, Tammy.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I will see you next week. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
Oh, tomorrow, not next week.
Oh yeah.